everyone, and most of you I have seen already. Our first speaker today is Jo Casey. Jo is the founder and principal tutor of the Kinesiology College of Ireland. She's been a practising kinesiologist since 1992, having trained extensively with many of the world's top kinesiologists in Ireland and abroad. She's been a registered Touch for Health Instructor with the International Kinesiology College since 1995 and has been the IKC Faculty for Ireland since 2002. She's a faculty member of Wellness Kinesiology, a facilitator for Heart Leaders Academy, and a registered PRANA Instructor. Jo is currently the immediate past president of the IKC, having served as president from 2020 to 2025. She served on the executive board of the International Kinesiology College Australia for 17 years. She was the dean of the Personal Development School of the IKC from January 2009 to October 2020. She served 3 years as the dean of the Touch for Health School from January 2009. Jo started the first diploma in Ireland in 1998 to raise the standard of kinesiology training here. She runs a 2-year diploma in kinesiology and a 2-year advanced diploma. She also teaches community workshops for people to use with their families and friends. Jo studied naturopathy at the Gateways College of Naturopathy in California, and then took a Bachelor of Science in Health Sciences. She extensively researched the effects of emotional stress release on blood pressure and the personality traits of adult adoptees. Today, Jo is sharing an introduction to working in the subtle bodies, which can be done with any kinesiology that you use. She will show hand mixes for each body and a short explanation further. Working with the subtle energy bodies. Jo, you have a great story. You've got a lot of experience, and it's my joy to be one of your colleagues and for us to work together. So amazing. But right now, I'm here with my ears all switched on, ready to learn from you.
Thank you. It's lovely to see everybody. And unfortunately, when I put on my PowerPoint, I won't see you all, but I'll know you're there. So I'm going to talk about working with the subtle bodies. Many of you may already do this, but it has helped me in my work to find maybe hidden imbalances that I mightn't have known were there, that maybe don't show in if I'm just working in physical body. So we all have 7 subtle bodies. We have our physical body that everybody sees, and then we have what we call the aura, or the subtle bodies. And I've broken them into 7 parts. So we've got our physical body, etheric body, which is just outside it. This is where we have our blueprint and our DNA memories and our DNA blueprint. We have the emotional body, which is where we have our feelings, our mental body, where we have our thoughts. And then there's 3 different spiritual bodies. So let's go through each of them. We can actually say, for instance, do a Touch for Health 14 muscle balance in physical body, which is what we normally do. But if you change the body and you do the 14 muscle balance again, you may get a completely different reading, and different muscles may be out of balance in the subtle bodies. And I invite you to practice with that and play with that. So the first body is physical body. This is the one we know. This is our densest body. It's the one we can see and touch. It's the most material of the 7 bodies. It houses and supports the soul and the subtle bodies. It's associated with the root chakra, and its focus is on survival, grounding, health, and physical sensation. And normally when we work with the body, we're normally working in physical body anyway. So we don't really need to use the hand mode for physical body unless we're in a subtle body and we want to come back to physical body. So if we're in a subtle body and we want to move back to physical body, there is a hand mode for that, and that is to close your fist and you just move this thumb from your facing your face to away from your face. So it's a movement in that one, which doesn't really show in the photograph, but you're moving it from facing towards your body to away from it. And then you get a change of indicator, and then you know you're in physical body. Then we have the etheric body. So the etheric body is immediately outside of the physical body, and it's a duplicate of the physical body. It extends just beyond the physical. Its function is the vitality and life force and the blueprint for physical. And it carries our DNA and the ancestral information. It also is the body that carries the miasms. If anybody works in homeopathy and remembers, Hahnemann had originally done 6 miasms, and these are disease states that our ancestors may have had and reproduced children before they cleaned out the cells. Then the pattern of the disease can go into the etheric body, and the person who has, or the child or whoever can have all the symptoms of the actual disease without having the actual disease. So for instance, in Ireland back, there was a lot of TB, and a lot of people produced children when they didn't know they had TB or were carrying TB. And there was a mark of TB then on the etheric body of the ancestry going down the line. And so we have a lot of children now that have asthma, which is like the symptoms of the coughing and the wheezing of TB, but actually they don't have TB. And they're diagnosed, in fact, they have possibly carrying a TB miasm. Normally that would be cleared out with a homeopathic homochord of TB. The etheric body is associated with the sacral chakra, and it's all about focus, energy flow, vitality, and emotional and physical interface. So it's the one between your emotional body and your physical body. So therefore, it's the emotional physical interface. Now, the hand mode for that is our electrical mode. So if everybody knows, we've got the electrical, emotional, nutritional, and structural mode in the body. Double electrical is the mode that is used for going into the etheric body. So if you do that on both hands and then get an indicator change, you can go into etheric body. You can put that into circuit, and then you're working in etheric body. The next one is the emotional body. So this is the seat of our emotions and feelings, and it allows us to experience and project emotions. It's associated with the solar plexus, and the focus here is on emotional awareness, self-expression, and empathy. Now, the emotional body doesn't do a whole lot, which is amazing because we live so much in our emotions. It actually feels. So if I was to say to you, give me the feeling of happy, could any of you do it? Or at least, how would you do it? How do you get to feel happy? Any thoughts? So generally you would think of something that makes you feel happy, and then you'd feel happy. Or maybe you'd feel sad because you think of something that makes you feel sad. But in both cases, you're thinking of something, which means that your mental body is actually what's controlling the emotional body. So our thoughts control our emotions in that sense, if that makes sense. So we are aware of the emotional body mode in kinesiology, at least some of you are, if not all. And if you do it in double, this actually takes you into the emotional body. And I know Wayne uses this one quite a lot, but I don't know that his intention is to go into the emotional body. But I think John Barton used it as well, didn't he? And you use it for, no, it's just you? Double emotions, yeah. So I was taught that this actually takes you into the emotional realm and the emotional body itself. So that is double emotional mode for the emotional body, and then put that into circuit. So then we go out to another one, and this is the mental body. So this is the layer of thought through reasoning and our conscious mind. And this houses our beliefs, our patterns, and our day-to-day mental activity. And it's associated with the heart chakra. And its focus is on thought patterns, understanding, and perception of reality. And this one is, you know, this actually does control the emotional body, but it's also the link between the emotional and the spiritual, because it's between those bodies. The hand mode for the mental body is, if you remember from maybe in the 70s, the peace sign became very popular, particularly in the San Francisco area. So if you do that double, so this mode in kinesiology is known as the mental attitude mode. So it's just putting your hand over your fingers and 2 fingers up like rabbit's ears. So if you do it in both hands, it's the mental body, but in one hand, it's the mental attitude mode. And now we'll go to the spiritual body. So we have 3 spiritual bodies. The first one is known as the Buddhic body. And this carries your higher ideals, your intuition, and your soul level memories. And this is the bridge between the personality and the higher self. So this is our connection with our higher self. And it's associated with this throat chakra, and it's about soul wisdom and higher guidance. And the spiritual body mode, hand mode, is to put your thumb over the ring and little finger at the same time on the pads. It's spiritual mode. And if you do it in both, it's spiritual body 1 mode. Spiritual body 2 is the atmic body. So this is the direct knowing and unity and a consciousness. And this is our connection with the whole universe, if you like, or higher power or God, or whatever you wish to describe it as. And this is where our intuition and direct knowing and unity and consciousness is. And its function is to access to compassion and universal truth. It's associated with our third eye, which is also known as kind of more psychic eye, or a knowing or a seeing. And the focus here is on intuition, higher perception, and inner guidance. And the hand mode for this one is if we take the spiritual body mode and we slide down to the first crease in the ring and little fingers. And this is how we can do this. So the spiritual body 1 is here. Spiritual body 2 is we just slide down to the first crease. Same 2 fingers. So the next body is the monad body, or the spiritual body 3. And this is our connection to source, or connection to God, or to infinite power, or whatever you wish to talk about. It's associated with our crown chakra, which is our connection to higher being, or to the infinite, or to source, or to God. And this is about enlightenment and unity with all that is. The hand mode for this one is you slide down to the second crease in the thing. So this would be spiritual body 1, spiritual body 2 is the first crease. And if you go down to the second crease, it's spiritual body 3. So when we're talking about the bodies, the physical body is where we feel things, where we can feel a hit, or we can do anything like that. We can touch it, we can feel it. The etheric body is more where we have a sense of things. If you know the feeling of a sense of somebody standing behind you, or you walk into a room and you feel there's a sense of an atmosphere, where we sense atmospheres, you know, it's a happy house or it's a not a happy house, or you walk into a building and you get a sense of whatever's going on. That's very much your etheric body. Your emotional body is really all about feelings. It's when we're feeling. And the mental body is what controls that, and that's our mental and thought process. And the three spiritual bodies, whether it's a connection to ourselves, to the universe, or to our higher power, that's all about knowing. And that they say that the furthest out in the subtle bodies is the deepest in the subtle bodies. So if you have the sense of you know something and you may not know how you know it or why you know it, I can't explain it, but you know it, and it's that absolute surety that you know something. They say that that is your spiritual body. And while it's the furthest subtle body out, it's the deepest one inside us. So how I use these is that I would use my normal kinesiology, whatever I'm doing, whether it's a touch for health muscle balance, or whether I'm working with chakras, or whether I'm working with anything in the body that you would do in kinesiology. And if you change into the body, if you prioritize the body, then you can actually find a completely different pattern, and you may discover imbalances that you wouldn't have normally picked up in physical body, but they are actually in the subtle bodies. And if you clear them there, it clears right through to the physical body as well. And you can prioritize the body, and then you can prioritize whatever correction you're going to do. So for instance, if you do a 14 muscle balance, you can do the 14 muscle balance in all 7 bodies. Make a note of everything that's out of balance, and then find the priority body and then the priority correction to work with. Same as you do a 1-point balance on the wheel or on the 5 elements in Touch for Health. You can still do it, but do it in the priority body, and you'll find that it'll clear all the imbalances in all of the bodies. So maybe that's helpful to put into your practices and use it with whatever kinesiology you do, because you can do it with any kinesiology that you're already doing. So much like we would change time sometimes and work at a different timeline, you can also change the subtle energy body and work with that. So hopefully that's helpful for you to incorporate into your practice. Do we have any questions?
Could I ask a question?
Hi,
So,
Meryl.
hi. Was there a general test to say we need to go into the subtle bodies? You know, like on the menu sort of thing. I might have missed it. Was there a hand mode before you started?
I would say I would just prioritize which body I need to work on using the hand modes for the bodies.
Okay. Do you always go into the subtle bodies, or yes?
I
Okay.
do.
Lovely. Oh, it's exciting. Thank you.
It is exciting. It's very exciting. Wow.
Good, thank you. That was really interesting. If you just following on from what I think Meryl asked, you always go into the subtle bodies. Do you go into the subtle bodies every time you find information and do a correction, or you identify the subtle body at the beginning of the session and stay with that?
I would normally identify the subtle body at the beginning of the session. When I want to work, I'll identify which body I need to work in. I will do whatever is needed there, and then I'll come back to physical and ask again.
Okay, thank
and
you.
Then, so whatever I have to do, whatever comes up, I want to know, is it in physical body or is it in the subtle body?
Thank you.
Hi, I would like to know how long should the handwork do?
How much you just hold the hand mode while you touch the person, and when you get an indicated change, you're then in that body, and then you can lock it in with whatever way you want to put it in circuit, whether you want to hold it yourself, whether you want to put it into their forehead like that, or whether you want to, whatever way you want to lock it in, however you put things and keep things in circuit. You can have the client hold the circuit, you can hold it, which is a little bit awkward, or you can actually zip it up on the forehead from, I believe it's bar heights. Wayne will probably correct me if I'm wrong. It is bar heights.
Thank you.
Could I just clarify again how we know which body we're working in?
Okay, so you can put into priority.
Yeah.
And then you can check the bodies, whether it's physical, etheric, emotional, mental, or spiritual body, 1, 2, 3. And wherever you get the change of indicator, you're going to go into that body. And then I put it into a circuit on the client's forehead.
So we go into priority mode just on one hand whilst we test an indicator muscle, yes?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
These are brilliant questions. Jer, thank you so much. Folks, this is our time that's done today. And it's just wonderful to see you all here and to be together and to know that Meet the Authors, what we're doing is being supported.
Lovely to see everybody.
So thank you everybody for wherever in the globe around the world you came from. I look forward to seeing you. Good night.